Good afternoon again. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We'll get to the JRC in a moment. First, a disclaimer. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign with the troubled teen industry, pertinent links are going to be right there in the description box for you. That way, if you want to deep dive on the subject, you'll definitely be able to do so. Trigger warning. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity, and some of the subjects that we cover, like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear the descriptions of, or catch clips or surveillance footage of, people with mental health issues, and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children that are 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is advised. Alright guys, back to where we left off. Okay, this one says, as someone with a chronic illness, I have a special connection to my disabled siblings everywhere. Same. There is a certain solidarity that is amongst us in the disability rights community, in the neurodivergent community, that I just can't put words to. There is a camaraderie and an understanding on a level that I have never experienced outside of those communities by anyone. By anyone. You want to know what got me to come out of my shell? Being around my own, so to speak. There is no judgment there. I can info dump to my heart's content and nobody's going to stop me. And then somebody might take my thread from what I just said and info dump on me. And I'm going to enjoy it because it might be info I had no idea about on a different area. You get what I'm saying, right? There is a camaraderie, there is a connection, a desire to protect, to assist and help in any way possible, to promote and to look after one another that I haven't really seen elsewhere. It's a wonderful thing. I think the FDA should pass a rule banning the use of electric shock devices for behavior modification. Each person, especially those vulnerable, should be safe from getting hurt like that. Disabilities are already painful in a number of ways, seeing everything you can't do, lacking the control to change that. It already hurts, and to punish a person further by using an electric shock device seems unfathomable. It's not that it's completely and utterly out of our hands, folks. I want to take that despair away from you. Yes, I want you to be realistic. None of this is going away 100%. But that doesn't mean that with some work, you can't take back control over your own life. Everybody is different. What that path to change is for you is maybe different than mine, but it is possible to change those behaviors. The important part of doing so is getting yourself with a team of individuals who know what the hell they are doing. Because kind of like, just like parents who are new to this, those of us who are just getting diagnosed, we are also brand new to this. And a lot of our information and resources are going to depend on the individuals who are diagnosing us, our schools, and what have you. Right? But yeah, it's not that we don't have any control. It's that in order to gain that control, you have to know what's wrong. You have to know what's causing you to act out that way. And that's not always an easy thing to be able to discern. And having a decent treatment team surrounded around you, and also keeping an open line of communication between everybody in your circle of support, can be absolutely major in helping you discover what it is that is triggering those behaviors, what can be done to minimize those triggers going off, whether it's assistive tech or whatever that needs to be, and then those behaviors that are not the so fun part of our diagnosis will decrease on a more natural level. Will they flare up again? Yes. It's inevitable. That is life. But you can take back some form of control. You can actually control your own life. It's not impossible to get yourself to a base level where you're able to function. And yes, you do understand a lot more about yourself than what you think you do. It's all these people who have told you to second guess yourself your whole life and explain to you that somehow you're wrong when they're not the ones who are having this diagnosis you are. That makes you second guess yourself. That makes you think that you don't have control. Don't listen. Just get yourself with the right team. I know sometimes that's something easier said than done, so I'm going to direct you over to the ARC of the United States. Just type it up in Google. They have some great tools for you and your family to be able to use. My heart breaks to imagine that such cruelty is still flaunted by any section of the medical community, and I want the FDA to ban these devices. Agreed, but yes. It's not that it's entirely out of our control. It's just that, unfortunately, there is a plague of incompetent folks with letters behind their name that see folks like us and get us second guessing ourselves. But more often than not, we're the ones who are actually correct on the subject. So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? All right, we need to go down a little bit to where we were. All right. So this one just says shock devices are an archaic and horrifying means of preventing self-injurious or aggressive behavior. There are other methods that do not harm the patient in question. At least things that are not physical, for God's sake. Excuse me. We're going to do a couple more. All right. Maybe one more. I always say that and then, yeah. All right. From TA. It says, I am in favor of the ban on electric shock devices as it is unethical and overtly harmful to use such devices on people. Like, duh. Okay. Let me do this one here. Okay. So this comment says the FDA should absolutely ban the use of electric shock devices for behavior modification. Not only is the use of such devices inhumane, it is ineffective. Furthermore, using electric shock on a human being without their consent robs them of their dignity. And no, getting parents to sign a consent form is not what we mean by consent. We mean the poor people who are screwed into having to wear that device. Their consent is the consent that we are talking about to JRC. Okay? Hopefully that helps and clears up the confusion on the matter. The parents, the guardians, they're not the one who has to wear that thing 24/7. Okay? Just saying. And on that topic, folks, I know it's getting a little bit shorter, but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. We're going to close out. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, as always, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. As always, folks, please don't forget to hit the comments. Double check to make sure you are set up to receive notifications as well. We're going to continue on with our advanced directives and HIPAA series and continue with down the rabbit hole and the Medicaid series as well. We don't want you to miss anything. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you all in a little bit. Bye, everyone.